right, boys, what is going on? Welcome back to Scheme Kings, and today we are continuing that ultimate mobile QB offense. Now, it's been maybe 2 months since I was last in this scheme, so I took a break. This scheme just took a long time to do everything. Hopped into Alabama, did the whole Alabama defense, did that top 5, started my Kansas City, so it's been a minute, but I did say I'd come back and do this mobile QB offense. Now, originally, I was going to do 6 QBs from this scheme, but I did a bunch of other videos. I basically ran through almost every formation in the scheme, so I'm actually going to stop it here. So we're going to do 5, but there's I also did just a few. I did like 4 or 5 other videos that were just like specialty videos, not based around a QB in this Ravens playbook. So I've done so much from this Ravens playbook, and I want to save the last QB. So originally, when you remember the intro video to this scheme, I said, here's the 4 I'm doing. I'm doing Newton, Lamar, Vic, and Tebow. Then I gave you 2 hints and 2 like mystery QBs. One of them is Johnny Football, which we are doing today, and the other was going to be RG3. Now, I still am going to do an RG3 later, but this is another reason why I'm going to say, I'm not going to do it in the mobile QB offense, is because I'm actually going to save him, and I'm going to do him in another offense, in another scheme coming up later. He's going to work really well in another offense, so I just want to save him, and I've just done so much in this Ravens, but I think it's good to hop back in and do one more, and honestly, the 2 formations today are really, really good. So if you haven't seen it yet, guys, I do the full main channel breakdown of the Manziel scheme on YouTube, and then this is part 2 where I give you 8 more plays. There's around 7 or 8 on the main channel as well. That's going to give you guys 16 more plays out of this mobile QB offense. It is an absolute ton. There's got to be over like 60, 70 different options for plays in this scheme. So there's so much. Now, the 2 formations we're going to be looking at today are bunch open offset and empty base flex. And like I said, both these formations work really, really well. This bunch open offset is very good, guys. It has some incredible man beaters. I only went over 1 man beater on the main channel, and it was at an empty base flex. So you guys are going to get all the man beaters at a bunch open offset here. I think there's 3 or 4 of them that all work really good. Then there's another really good one at an empty base flex. So overall, you can run with the QB and bunch open offset, get your QB out in space. There's screen passes, RPOs, zone beaters. Then in empty base flex, there's probably my favorite deep passing concept in the entire game. It is middle, high, low. If you watched my channel last year, you'll remember middle, high, low probably. I released it, I think, with the spread Oregon scheme, but I've called it 56 times for 21 yards per play average. It destroys cover 3. It destroys cover 2. So we're going to look a little bit more empty base flex, quite a bit more at bunch open offset in this video. We've like 8-ish plays coming up. So lots of good stuff for you guys on the way. Make sure if you haven't yet, go check out that part 1 where I break down, the part 1 of the Manziel scheme where I break it down on the main YouTube channel. And if you guys haven't watched any of the mobile QB stuff yet, if you are new to it, you can hit me up on Discord, send me an email. I can send you the whole playlist, or you can find it on my channel, on my YouTube channel, and it is a very, very fun offense. I absolutely love it. So that is going to be it, guys. Let's get into the gameplay and let's get this rolling. We're going to be in gun bunch open offset first, and the first play we're looking at is RPO trap alert screen. Now, very good RPO. There's another RPO I go over in the main channel, so you can work in both of these. This one is actually a nice inside trap with a screen on the outside, and we have this little out route from our solo side receiver as well. So I believe we're looking at the run first. So nice little inside trap. Works very well. Let this guy pull, trap their D end here, get up to the second level, trap that linebacker, get upfield, pick up 9-10 yards. Can also run this down along the goal line. So really quick, boom, trap that D end. User bites down, tries to stop the run up the middle. We hurdle into the end zone. There we go. So that is the run play element. Then we have our 2 RPO plays. So right here, we have a screen on the outside. Now we see here, they're really packing the box. They have only 1 player out here. We have 3. Obviously, we're going to like those odds, so you can just drop that out right away. We have 2 blockers, right there. Beat the D end to the corner, pick up that block, pick up that block, pick up 16, 17 yards. Then the other thing we can do on this RPO. Now, I didn't break this down in the main channel video, but I do have an RPO read bubble that has this exact same route on the backside. It has a bubble this way, RPO out this way as well, but then it has this little baby out route. Now, if you have like short in elite or route tech on this player and they run man coverage, this route, you'll watch, Randy should activate as he breaks out. Even if he doesn't though, a lot of the time he will. If he doesn't, you are going to see he's going to get really nice separation if you throw it right away against man coverage, and you can rack catch that and pick up huge yards. So right at the snap, if you see solo one-on-one coverage, man coverage on the outside, throw as he cuts outside. It's really hard for the DB to transition there, and you can pick up really easy yards against man coverage. So that was RPO alert screen, RPO trap alert screen. Now we have Sprint Z Spot. Now this is going to be our man coverage play. Now one note with Sprint Z Spot that I also didn't go over on the main channel video. This has a sprint out coded into your quarterback. So if you just were like to snap the ball and let the QB do, you know, what like the computer wants him to do, he's going to do a little half roll out this way or even a full roll. Now, I don't really like to do that. Rolls this year are tough. The DNs fire upfield really fast. So what I like to do is right after I snap the ball, just take your controller and move your joystick, your left stick, like just a little bit. Just like, you don't even have to pull it or anything, just move it. And that'll just make him reset and not do the rollout animation. And I definitely recommend that. So we have a Sprint Z Spot man play and a zone play. I would do that for both of them. Okay, that's just a little quick note. Now, when we're playing against man coverage, how I have my abilities set up here, I'm playing MUT, so I do have a lot of abilities. Now, if you're playing Rags or CFM, you won't necessarily have as many, but you try to set them up where you can. Now, on Moss, I have Route Tech. On Cup, Smith, and Waller, I have short and elite. So if you have Route Tech, if you're playing MUT just like I am, have a Route Tech on the one of the outside receivers, have short in on the other, short in on your tight end, and then short in on your slot receiver. This player will always stay on the inside if you flip your bunch. Waller will always stay at the point if you flip your bunch. Then Cup and Moss will just always stay on the outside of the bunch or soloed out. Now, getting into this play, have our bunch to the wide side basically always for this bunch open. Then we want to put Moss on a slant, and we want to put Smith on a whip. Let's see, I should do it here. Oh, I actually didn't do it here, but you do want him on a whip here. I'm sure I'll do it the next one. Right here, slant, corner route, whip, backside post. So we have 4 really good man beaters. The first place I like to look is at this tight end, and he is going to get incredible separation as he breaks. Short and elite here is going to absolutely dominate. Watch here, boom, as he breaks, we get, look at this, like 8 yards of separation. Rack catch that, get upfield, we get like a 42-yard gain there. So that is our first read. We want to look to that corner route. All right, now for our second read, we can look to this side of the field. Once again, Waller, our tight end there, is going to get very, very good separation. Now we kind of have our 3 check down options. So we can have slant. Here's that whip route from our slot receiver. Then we have the backside Z post. So here we see no safety help over the middle. They have everyone on this side of the field. That makes me think I'm going to look to the Z post. If they have no one in the middle of the field, and look at that outside shade there by their corner, I really want to attack with the Z post. The user stays shallow. Look at, we already have that inside shade. As we break, pass lead it out and away, keep it away from that backside corner, and we're able to score from 27 yards out on that backside post. That's another really good option. Then we have our corner, we have our post. Now we have our 2 check downs. So we can either go slant or whip. So here, slant cuts in. As he breaks, we see the whip gets really good separation. The user's backing out. We throw in that slant and we rack catch it, and we get a huge gain right here. Pick up like 30 yards. Then lastly, we have the whip. So whip, cuts out, really nice separation. Once again, fire it in, get upfield, pick up 15, 20 yards. So that is a very, very good play as well. Okay, the next play we're looking at is Y trail. This is going to be Y trail versus man. Now, very minimal adjustments on this play. Once again, all we want to do is we want to block our running back. then I like to look to this receiver. Now, if they're impressed, I like to leave this player on a comeback. If you watch my channel for a while, you know I really do like comebacks against press man coverage. But if they're on in backed off coverage, then you can put this player on a whip. Then the only other adjustment, take Kupp, the outside receiver here. He's stock on a drag. I like to put him on a slant. That is it. Now, this works really well off Sprint Z spot, because Sprint Z spot, we're really attacking the outside of the field here. We have the corner route from Waller. We have the whip route underneath. Then we're attacking the middle of the field with this post. Here we're working the complete opposite way. So really attacking kind of out and deep here with the comeback. Then we have 3 routes attacking the middle of the field. So you're going to see the user's really going to start to leave the middle of the field to try to take that corner route from Sprint Z spot. Now you can run the post breaking back over the middle, pick up some really big yardage. So that is where we want to look first. Again, look to Waller on the post right here. Short and elite activates. They have a safety over the middle of the field, or this is a walk in. Look at the absolute insane separation we get there. Like I said, he has this middle safety, but even if there's a middle safety, just pass that, lead that in and away from him, and you will be fine. Here it is again, boom, clean release, short in activates there, throw as he breaks. He doesn't get as much separation here, only maybe 4 or 5 yards, but still really good. Rack catch it, pick up 20, 25 yards. So now we have that corner route breaking to the sideline in Sprint Z spot from our tight end, then the post there in wide trail. So really, those between those 2 plays, you're just going to give them hell with your tight end. Now, here we see off man, so I went to the whip route, but now we want to attack the middle of the field. So we're going to first have this slant route. So slant is going to come over the top. Then we have the route underneath. So slant over the top, look at them lose the man coverage. Really tough for the man coverage to not hit people. We have that bunch. They're all kind of coming together and breaking out. Really easy for DBs to get lost in that mess. Like 6-7 yards of separation. Rack catch that. Get upfield, pick up like 20, 25 yards super easily. Then the other route that comes underneath it. So we really have 3 layers here. We have the post, then we have the slant, then we have this route that goes in, up, then out right there. You can throw that in. It gets decent separation, not the best. You can get 6-7 yards. It's just another good option on that play. Then lastly, we can work the backside here. So if they're impressed, keep the comeback on the field. If this player is an off man, then you can throw the whip. So right here, he's impressed. You're going to see that you get this really nice throw off animation a ton when people press you with these comeback routes. You can throw as he cuts up field, gain 20, 25 yards on the play. So that is it. That is going to be Y trail versus man. Sprint Z spot and Y trail, both very, very good. Then we have another man beater coming up still in this formation that is very good as well. Okay, now we're going to look at Y trail versus zone. Very similar setup. Now, instead of having the solo receiver bunch to the wide side, instead of having the solo receiver on a comeback, put him on a streak, let him get up the field. And then lastly, you can either put this backside player, you can leave him on a drag. Usually I actually like to put him on a slant. And once again, Sprint Z spot versus zone, I break it down on the main channel, really is attacking the outside here. We're trying to make a flood concept on the outside. Now we're working the middle of the field with Y trail. So they really work these 2 plays well off of each other. So first, once again, we want to look to the post. So this streak is actually going to do a good job of pulling back both these deep blue defenders. Look at how he has to turn his hips and commit to this player. Then we can throw this post in front of him. So you can just drop that in front of both players there. Unless the user gets really deep on this route, you can basically just drop it in. Same here, user stays shallow. He's gonna have both these routes really sucking him down, and you can just throw this in front of the safety. So that post is gonna get open basically every time unless the user runs with it. Then right here, once again, now see how we see the user commit to the post. He's turned his hips. He's running back underneath the post. Now we have this slant coming in underneath of him. So that just works really well. Now look at this, just perfect layer. So now he's going back. So now we have the slant. Now let's say the hook was getting under the slant. Then we have that out, up, and in route right here that you can check down to. So you can really have 3 routes here. Here we hit the slant, fire it in 15, 20 yards. Then lastly, we have that third route. So now we see the user's getting way back. Then we see, honestly, could have went there, but I seen the user kind of starting to come down to it. So now we have the third route underneath in that hole. Rack catch, get upfield 1st and 10, we get it in 2nd and 1. So those 3 routes, attacking the middle of the field. Do I hit it again? I'm not even sure what this is. Okay, here it is again, 2nd and 2, same thing, you can fire that in. So then we also have the running back on the swing pass. I never really got any footage of me hitting it, but you know, that is another check down option. Okay. Now we are looking at fake screen wheel, and this is going to be against man coverage. Here, have our bunch to the wide side. Then take the outside receiver on the wide side, put him on a slant and motion him over. You have to put him on a slant first because he's on a hitch route stalk and you can't motion over hitch route. So put him on a slant, then motion him over, and we're going to motion snap him. Now I want to pause here so we can see the rest of the routes. So block your running back. I can't remember if he's stock blocked or not. If he isn't, block him. If he is, then you're fine. Then put Smith on a whip route. Now that is basically it, guys. We are going to have, you know what? I actually have this backwards. So usually actually I like Smith is stock on a crosser and Waller is actually the player on the whip. I'll show you the next one. This one I had it backwards, but right here it is going to be, you know, working the same way. Now we have 4 routes that beat man coverage on this play with a post or crosser from either of these 2, plus the whip, plus the motion over slant route, plus this outside breaking corner route over here that does a great job versus man. So we're going to drop back here and look at this outside breaking corner route. He's going to get his ability activate there, short in or route tech. Then he's going to break to the sideline and get really nasty separation. He gets 4 or 5 yards, throw that in, get out of bounds just like that. So that works absolutely amazing. Here it is again. Boom. We beat the press off the line. We see ability activate there. Once again, crazy separation fired in. So that's going to be a great route to attack the sideline on that side of the field. Then we can look inside to the slant route right here. Boom. Breaks inside. Great separation. User leaves the middle of the field, take the whip route. Now you can fire in that slant. We get 1 block up the field, rack catch, and we are gone. Okay, now this is actually what we want the front side to look like. So we have the crosser from Smith, then we have the whip route from Waller. So that is what I want my front side to look like. I just found you couldn't set it up the way I had it in the other clip, but I found that tight end route doesn't really get great separation on his break. This crosser does a little bit better. So now we can look to this side of the field. We have the crosser gets off the jam here, cuts in over the middle, really nice separation. So crosser attacking the middle of the field with the slant. This route, Moss route, attacking the sideline. Then lastly, we have the Waller on the whip. So he's going to break in, break out on the whip. Nice separation, get it out to beat the blitz, rack catch, get upfield, and we get this really ugly hurdle animation, but we pick up like 30 yards on the play. Okay. So that wraps up gun bunch open offset. Now, like I said, there's even more setups on the main channel. Well, that's a lot of talking this morning. There's even more setups on the main channel video as well for that formation. It has a ton in it. Really solid overall, guys. Now we are going to move to empty base flex. Now we have 3 plays we are going to look at. 3 plays we're going to look here, and Y corner is the first one. Now this is going to be very similar-ish to like the Saints fork play, anything like that. So front side, we're just going to have a flood concept. So we want to put Smith on a Smith on a whip route to the outside, put Moss on a streak. Nice flood concept on the wide side. Then backside, take the outside receiver, motion him in, and put him on a streak. So now we're gonna have a flood concept here and this corner route here attacking the sideline. Now, first, look to the wide side, look to Waller on this corner route right here. So boom, read this flat defender. He's staying sort of shallow, staying at 10 yards. This is gonna get to about 15, 20. We have the streak on the clear out right here. So you can just fire this in on the corner route right there, fired in for a touchdown right here. Boom, right here, flat defender staying really shallow this time. Then we see the user reacting, but he's too late. Streak running everyone off, fire this in along the sideline right there, pick up a really nice game. So that's simple. Then I believe here I'm working the backside. Now, this corner route is really good, guys. With this motioned over route against zone coverage, they just do not react to this corner route at all. So watch this. This is their zone player or their flat player here. Watch him. He stays inside until you break out. But because he's starting so far inside, even though he's going to react once you break, he's like 4 yards inside of you. The streak is going to get pulled inside the streak is going to pull inside the corner, and you can just fire this in along the sideline. Like, there's no one within 10, 15 yards of you. It works very good in the red zone, but it also works, more in the middle of the field, like right here. So streak's going to get pulled back, or the streak is going to pull back. Flat defender is going to stay shallow and inside, and you can just throw this in along the sideline. Like, look at, there's no one within like 10 yards of you. Super easy completion, pick up like 20, 25 yards on the play. Then lastly, we have Steve Smith on the, our wide side slot receiver on the comeback. So everyone's dropping out, you can fire down the comeback as our check down. So that's another really good play, guys. Y corner versus zone. Now we're going to go over stick. Now, I actually feel like I've went over stick quite a bit lately, but I'm really enjoying stick out of empty. I think it's a really good play. It's a really good option to attack zone coverage. It's really hard to stop, and it just gives you options all over the field. Now, to set this up, I like to put the inside player here on a hitch. I like to put McCaffrey on a backside slant. I can't remember if Smith is stock on an out route or if we have to put him on an out route, but if he's on a flat route, I can't remember. Put him on an out route, then backside player here on a comeback. So this is what we want our play art to look like. Now, I like to look to Steve Smith first, and I want to read the flat defender. If the flat defender is dropping out, then we can just throw this right away. So we have a blitz off this edge, everyone's dropping out, you can just throw this in the flats right away, get upfield. Then we can look inside. So now flat defender gets out underneath this. Now we have the hitch, just hitching up right in the middle of the field. Users dropping out, throw in the hitch right here, get upfield, pick up 15 yards. Same thing, look to this side of the field, read the flat defender right here. Honestly, see, this is where I could have even went to this route. So this is what's going to happen. Because the comeback's on the field, this player here won't jump down on this out route unless they're a hard flat. Here he's not in a hard flat, so he's going to stay deep. So I could have went out to this route, but we also have the little hitch route or the little stick route right here, turning on the 9 yard line. We get down to like the 1 or 2 yard line right there, so that works as well. Then we can work the back side of the play. So look to this again, boom. Okay, flat defender gets under this route, that's fine. Then the user jumps to this route. So now this side of the field is taken away. But what does that mean? We have the hitch and we have the backside slant coming from the backside. So now hitch pulls that player out, hitch pulls that player out. Now we have the slant splitting the two of them right in there. End zone touchdown. One more, same thing. So flat defender getting out underneath that route. User getting underneath this route. Hitch pulling these players down. Now we have the backside slant attack in the middle of the field. Touchdown. So there's stick. Then I didn't have any clips of me throwing the backside hitch, but if everyone's dropping out and that hitch is open, you can also go to that. Okay, now lastly, a little bit of goal line stuff. So this is similar to the QB Tim Tebow stuff I released, but I really like empty QB draws with wide receiver screens on the goal line. So right here, this is honestly not even the best time, but here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defenders in the box. We have 5 blockers, still a decent ratio, but if they're even more spread out, like let's say they're playing zone and they have even more people out wide, we're going to like this even better. But right here, I like our odds. Basically, if they're really spread out to try to stop the pass, we can call this this QB draw or any QB power, any empty QB run, and we can just get up the field right away. So boom, get up the field. We see a hole, really easy for them, even though they did kind of outnumber us here. If, we can pick up 2-on-1, they shoot the gap, and now all of a sudden we can get upfield. Now, I broke down this wide receiver screen on the main channel video, so I'm not going to go over it really in depth, but I just wanted to show you there. Then if they start to pack the box, like look at this, now everyone's in the box. What do we have out here? We're going to have 3 blockers. They're going to have 2 defenders. Now we can call this wide receiver screen. So we like our numbers over here. Then this player comes even more inside. So we're going to have 1 player out here. We have our receiver, get it out, get upfield. We only have to get a yard there. We fall in. Touchdown. So right? Same thing. What do we see here? Loading the box, keeping everyone in the middle here. We have a 2-on-1 on the outside. Like those odds, drop it out. We know we don't have to get much here. The safety is going to be coming down, but we only have to get a yard. So now we can just get upfield, run this guy over, fall into the end zone, touchdown. Then lastly, same thing, but we can go to the opposite side. So now we can go here, but we can also go to the running back here. 2-on-1. This DN's coming in late, but once again, we only need a yard or two. We can fall into the end zone. So that is going to be it, guys. That is our QB draw, wide receiver screen, goal line offense as well. So that is gun bunch open offset. That is empty base flex. And that is going to wrap up this mobile QB offense. Now, we're going back to the Chiefs after this. Early next week, there will be another Chiefs video. Just wanted to take a little break, come back, give you guys some mobile QB offense. This Manziel offense is super, super fun, guys. Going to give you guys some really nice options against man coverage as well, which can be a little bit of a struggle this year unless you have some really good plays. And this gun bunch open offset has some great man beaters in it. You can use those 3 to give your opponent a ton of trouble and rack up, a ton of easy yards, start to get them into zone coverage. So that is going to be it, guys. Thank you, everyone, for rocking with me on Scheme Kings. I will see you boys soon. That is it. King Reggie out.